Hello. Can you believe it's almost Pentecost? The arrival of Pentecost means that the great 50 days of Easter conclude. In other words, Easter was 7 weeks ago. But what a great 50 days it has been. We've welcomed new Christians into God's household. Parents met to discuss the relaunching of the Journey to Adulthood program. We honored God's creation with a planet party. We observed Rogation Day. Our children and youth took on special roles in worship. And the vestry decided to move forward on much-needed repairs to our steeple and roof and to ask you for your help in funding this project. And each week we have proclaimed the glorious Easter acclamation. Alleluia, Christ is risen. The Lord is risen indeed. Alleluia. 10 days after Jesus ascended into heaven, as his disciples waited in Jerusalem as they had been instructed, God's Spirit came upon the group, disciples and others, gathered in an upper room, and also upon the international crowd outside. The Holy Spirit was not something new here. It is one person of the Trinity after all and has always existed. But the Spirit came at this time to this group to signal in no uncertain terms that they were now to be Jesus' hands and feet on earth. In the power of the Spirit, they were now to say the things Jesus said and do the things Jesus did. In fact, Barbara Brown Taylor calls the book of Acts the gospel of the Holy Spirit. Which takes me back to the beginning of the Gospel of Mark, which is our emphasis here in Lectionary Year B. Remember how Mark begins? Here's the first line again. The beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Well, the kicker is that most scholars believe that that first verse is actually meant to be the title of the gospel. So the Gospel of Mark is not the good news of Jesus Christ, as if that would be the sum total of it, but the beginning of that good news. That same good news which the disciples experienced in the risen Christ, which that group experienced in that upper room on Pentecost, and that is offered to us in word and sacrament and the life of the gathered community. The good news is not over. It goes and grows like a mustard seed until God's purposes are fulfilled. We're part of the mission of God's good news as we live in the power of the Spirit. So I hope you can be with us Sunday for Pentecost. We'll hear the gospel read in other tongues and welcome 2 new members to the household of God through baptism. Wear your red. See you soon.